I will be talking English today because I have an English guest. My name is Aissatou Traoré. We are at Makers op Zuid, at least the Makersweek at Dokhuis. And I have a special guest here, Mark Dowe, the yoga teacher Vinyasa. And you know what? Let me just let you introduce yourself because I'm here for it.
Okay. Wouldn't know where to start. My name is Mark. I am for 20 years on and off in Holland, so I kind of found my second home here. And after a long time dancing, I started then teaching yoga. It was a natural transition because dancers can age out of their career. And before I started dancing, I was a teacher. I love teaching. I love being in the room with people. And over my dancing years, I sort of became a little interested in yoga, but it was so many different things. I was like, what are they talking? I don't get it. I don't. So I just went to an ashram for a month and
Where?
in the south of France, near the forest of
Really?
Orléans. It was Shivananda Yoga, which is one of the oldest. They were the first ones to do teacher trainings. So it was a teacher training, but what better way to learn what yoga is? So I spent a month there, and it was then really all day long with meditation and chanting and the postures. And I'm like, oh, that's what yoga is. It was a very calm form of yoga, and they were very clear. You're lovely. You're not a Shivananda teacher. I'm like, oh, okay.
Gotcha.
They
They made it
didn't
very
like
clear,
my,
right?
you know, my
I
style.
know. We're definitely going to get into it because
Good.
your style, like, it is very, can I say for yoga, it is quite eccentric?
Yes, you can
Is
use any word you like for it.
right?
Yeah.
Well, how would you describe it?
I'm still struggling on it, but I think I'm landing more and more simply on joyful.
Mm,
I think this becomes, look, there are now about 6 billion yoga teachers. We keep counting. Everybody's a yoga teacher and their mother to some extent, because a lot of people follow teacher trainings to dive deeper, but then they also feel like, oh, I should teach, which is great. It's a kind of snowball effect of yoga.
right.
So I think these days, especially in modern yoga, we have, I mean, every kind of way and style of teaching, but it just comes out from because I am like that.
Right.
It's my personality, and I'm not trying to be very yoga right now and have
Right.
this sort of ASMR experience or something.
Right.
It's not natural to me. It would be put on.
And it is that maybe the word eccentric is not even what I'm trying to describe. It's more that you are quite you stand
Loud.
out. You stand out, right? And you motivate in a way that most yoga teachers maybe keep towards the end of the class, but you are throughout your class you
Hammer it in.
right, right.
Yes.
And is it something that is because you want to motivate them how you would motivate yourself, or is it that you believe that affirmations during class is something that actually is underestimated?
It's a really good question. I'd like to say also to my students, I really just talk to myself here. I talk about things I feel I need to hear. It's not
Right.
like I'm the master of everything and
Right.
I'm every day is just pure self-love. And so I keep kind of like my own affirmation, putting it out there. And it's also, it's a very short time and I teach in very different kind of context, be that at a gym or at a yoga school or at sometimes you have 90 minutes, sometimes it's barely an hour. But I want to let them feel that you can get to that point wherever you are, even in a, like we met in a gym and you hear the people clanking on the machines outside and you would think, well, that's not a yoga class. Hello, yoga is what you make it. So yes, I hammer very quickly into what I believe yoga is about, because it is, especially in modern yoga, so quickly just about the asanas, the postures, what you do on the mat. Well, that's not what it's about. It's the smallest part of what yoga is about. So even though it's a really enjoyable thing, I can see people in the first 2 minutes, oh, I'm not sitting right. Oh, I don't have the right outfit on. Or I should be in the other corner of the room. Or the inner dialogue we all have all day long, I see it immediately in the mat. I'm like, okay, let's calm down. Let's have some fun here. This is about breath. This is about something else. Whatever we do here is just play. We just play. It will be beneficial for your body. Great, but that's just the bonus. I see myself often, if I can say it that way, like the door bitch of yoga. I'm like, but the door is always open. Like, come on in, let's try this out. I used to have a lot of students that came to me and said, I never liked yoga, now I like it. Just because, not because I'm amazing, just because, oh, you are allowed to do it. You're allowed to have a laugh in class. You're allowed to do it slightly different or according to who you are and what you need. It's like, that's what yoga is about, in my opinion. So maybe that's where all the different, I want to give as much messages in the one class as I can. So that's why I'm going from the beginning to the end. Love yourself. Be who you are. Practice with the body that you have because it's gorgeous.
But even to practice with it, you must have also had your struggles with it, right?
Hello.
So how did you then face challenges? I mean,
well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's not perfect.
how did you indeed work through it? Finding yourself, finding your voice again, and did you ever even lose it? Like,
I got some funny comments over the years, and I still do. I've been, since when I moved to Rotterdam, I auditioned at a very big school. They wanted to see me teach for 50 minutes, and they told me, you're a horrible teacher, and nobody will ever enjoy yoga in your class.
really?
Like, okay. I teach for 25 years, so I'm older than the owner who's giving this comment.
No way.
I'm like, that's if you say it doesn't fit to our style, to our teaching, to our school, to what we do, which I understand because you don't do anything in class, but that's okay. But I mean, you have to get a sort of a thick skin. If I listen to every comment I get after my class, it's too loud, he's too much, he's not loud enough, he's this. You can't make everybody happy.
Right.
I'm not trying to, well, I'm trying to make everybody happy in class,
Right.
to a degree, but it's an energy thing, I feel. And I'm sure I'm going also miss, but in the room you can sort of feel an energy. That's why I like a big group. When I get like 5, 6 people, they also lift the others up like, oh, it's okay. Oh, that's how we do it. And as a teacher, the one person out of 30 person who's rolling their eyes, that's the one that stays with you. That's the one I didn't get. It's very hard to let that go. And I think by talking a lot in the classes about these topics, I mean, I read great books from great teachers. I had great teachers to sit one-on-one with. There's a certain way and knowledge about it which is really simple. May I say that to every camera? It is all very simple. There is no magical formula to it. But you have, as you said, you have to find it yourself a little bit, what works for you.
Right.
So am I the best with changes? Well, I think it's a lot, the power comes a lot in the moments where you're still. Where you take a moment for yourself, digest a little bit life. I keep talking a lot in class about how fast life is, and it becomes faster and faster. There's so much swiping and looking and information coming in. For me, it always becomes very confusing. It's too much, it's too fast for me. So to slow down yourself and sit just with your own voice and see what comes up. And that's how you naturally find yourself. In the class I just gave here in the Makersweek, it was really nice.
Definitely.
I also talked about, because on your website you say these beautiful things like entrepreneurship, but creativity and intuition and stuff. How do you connect to this if you're never still, if you never listen in? You can't. Otherwise you're simply copying other people all the time.
Right.
So I think it comes over the years of doing the same thing over and over. You hone your craft. If you like it, that's a different thing. But this is what I have to offer to you. This is what I can put on the table. Eat it, don't eat it.
Right.
I have nothing else.
Because you even also travel abroad and you go the distance. You see, when it comes to Makersweek, obviously it is a platform to give the innovative educational activities that you don't see in the traditional educational system, and how you actually got to practice something for 25 years. But a school, an elite school, I believe, an elite dance school, would then tell you like you're not good enough whilst you already practiced your craft and your expertise. How do you handle that, and what is the advice that you can give to viewers to make sure that you stand your ground and you still believe in yourself, right?
Okay. There I would love to quote one of my great inspirational teachers, RuPaul, who says, "What other people say about me has nothing to do with me. It's none of my business." You cannot constantly listen. I think it would be more beneficial instead of reading, and we all know what a comment section looks like.
Right.
So that's, you have to take that with a grain of salt. What would be much more interesting is put a camera in the corner of the room and film yourself. Look at yourself. What are you doing? How do you like, oh wait, oh my God. I've seen myself on video teaching and was like, oh gee, that was maybe a little much. I mean, I'm also questioning it. But you also see the people coming back and the people thriving on it. I'm not saying it's for everybody, but there are definitely people who are like, yes, this works. So I think if you try to serve everybody, you serve everybody very little. You know, otherwise, we are all so different. I think if you have an open mind and you come into my class, you still get a very solid yoga class, but you're like, okay, I don't need all this. It's too much. Some people don't like the music. Some people don't like this and that. If you try to serve everybody, you're going to burn out very quickly. Come to yourself, have your best friends look at you and remind you, Mark, you know,
Right.
this is a much more, because they know you, they know your vibe, your frequency, and they know when you start to move off it. They're like, really, that's what you want to do? You want to do it that way? At least you have to explain it to them. I think this is a really good way to stay on your path, however the path might go, but to be honest to yourself. And this is where I talked in the class as well about, like, okay, if you think yoga has nothing to do with entrepreneurship, entrepreneurship should, in my opinion, should be about what's your belief? What's your values? What do you want to bring to the world? If you don't have a business and you're in the yoga class, what's your values? What's your beliefs? How do you want to walk out of this room and interact with other people? Because that's my loveliest quote by Krishna Das, a great teacher. He was asked, how do you notice that you're getting better in the practice? When you're nicer to people. So that's come to see how you want to see it.
No, I'm so intrigued by the story, and I could definitely talk to you for hours.
Next time.
Like I already mentioned, we even have the same like outfit, and we're
But
like
yours is a
literally.
proper yoga outfit.
I definitely like, also because I got it. My second mom, Bia, made this outfit, and even the back. I want to show the back because it's
Look
really.
at that.
She designed it. I'm looking at Shane. That's the cameraman, all the way from France, people.
Up and down, up and down, up and down.
Yeah, turn. Okay, now it's gonna be shown all the way, and then we're gonna do which pose?
I think everything can be a pose if you want it to be. Yeah.
Right, but also because you did ballet, right?
A little bit of dancing in my background, yeah. I loved it. Yeah.
A little bit.
Well,
I mean,
it feels like another lifetime, but it's yeah.
but you know,
nice.
once you have it, once you have like ballerina, then it never leaves your system. Look at Naomi Campbell. Yeah, it's always.
Yeah.
It still comes back in like
it's
etiquette.
The trauma and the torture that will always bring you back to it.
So Mark, thank you so much. Thank you for
much.
teaching during the Makersweek, and we would love to see you again. People, thank you for watching. This is Mark Dowe, together with your host, Aissatou Traoré.